Mariah Carey versus Madonna. The insurmountable chasm separating pop's two biggest female stars. First and foremost, the purpose of this video isn't to humiliate anyone. The reality, facts, and details speak for themselves. Sexuality. Mariah Carey was a virgin when she got married. She sees herself as a very prudish person, rejects promiscuity, and doesn't engage in one-night stands. Mariah has stated that these don't fill anyone's void. She prefers to engage in something truly affectionate. Madonna, on the other hand, lost her virginity at 15, during high school. The man with whom Madonna had this experience said he felt used and abused. Madonna also had a brief relationship with Michael Jackson. Michael reported being shocked by Madonna's obscene manners. Sexually speaking, Madonna wasn't averse to experimentation. Religion. Mariah Carey's greatest religious influence came from her father's family, who were connected to the Pentecostal Evangelical Church. Mariah had an encounter with the Holy Spirit in her childhood, which led her to acquire unwavering faith and helped her face the calamities of her dysfunctional family environment. Her personal relationship with God was strengthened in many ways, through prayer, gospel music, church, and reading the Bible. In her autobiography, Mariah reveals that, for her, everything is a matter of faith and that faith has defined her. This evangelical spirituality of Mariah appears accentuated in her musical work, especially through gospel music, which is the genre she loves most. Through gospel, Mariah brought spirituality and inspiration to the pop world and also, in a way, revolutionized Christmas music. Madonna, on the other hand, grew up in a Catholic family. And although she liked certain aesthetic and symbolic aspects of the religion, in which she even had an erotic interest, she clashed with the oppressive moralism of Catholicism, especially against women. Madonna has an almost infinite series of religious controversies. In her albums and shows, Madonna provocatively mixes elements considered sacred and profane. Madonna's spirituality is vague and subversive. Although she uses the reactionary aesthetics of Catholicism, her obscene performances are seen as blasphemy by religious Catholics. Madonna has worn a crown of thorns, hung herself on a cross, and portrayed Jesus at the Last Supper. Image. Mariah Carey views sensuality innocently. For Mariah, being sexy has nothing to do with being obscene or promiscuous. In her way of dressing and posing for photos, Mariah seeks to convey an accentuated feminine sensuality that is sweet and ethereal, almost childlike, she says. Perhaps that's why Mariah almost always appears smiling in photos. Mariah sees herself as a free and, at the same time, traditional woman. Madonna doesn't have a natural and innocent sensuality. Or if she does, it's overshadowed by the instrumental way she treats sexuality, especially with the aim of shocking values and promoting sexual liberation. It would be too much of a euphemism to treat Madonna's obscenities as true eroticism. Madonna declared herself a bad feminist, in response to feminist criticisms that she was degrading female sexuality. Sensitivity. Mariah Carey is a romantic personality, and it's no surprise that her most characteristic form of expression is poetry in her compositions. This poetic sensibility leads Mariah to avoid excessively vulgar or obscene language, even when dealing with hip-hop, which is a genre more prone to including direct expressions. Mariah also prefers to deal with personal experiences, real or imaginary, avoiding ideological language. She seeks to portray or evoke universal human experiences that can make sense to all kinds of people. Mariah rejects the idea that she makes music for specific groups of people. Perhaps that's why Mariah's message resonates with so many people of different races, political preferences, and sexual identities. With all its nuances, Mariah's sensibility is conservative. Madonna has little to no romanticism. And it's not surprising that her most characteristic form of expression is spectacle. Madonna reveals little poetic sensibility in her compositions. And obscene images are not hard to find in her lyrics. Madonna is more prone to using activist and ideological language, which in itself limits the reach of her message and also contributes to exacerbating divisions. Madonna appeals to certain specific groups of people. The fact that Madonna has some popularity among groups who would reject her if they knew her better only reveals the power of propaganda. When it comes to Madonna, insensitivity triumphs over sensitivity. Affectivity. Mariah Carey grew up in a dysfunctional family and went through several traumatic situations throughout her life. But thanks to her spirituality, she didn't let herself be overcome by rebellion and resentment. On the contrary, gratitude, generosity, and forgiveness are recurring themes in her lyrics and statements. All of this is reflected in the strong inspirational flavor of her works. Mariah offers healing to a wounded world. Madonna also faced many adverse situations during her life, but since she didn't have true spirituality, she was left to resort to resentment and ideological militancy to deal with the problems surrounding her. Hence her emphasis on controversy and the subversion of values. In cultural terms, Madonna only managed to offer moral degradation to a world that was divided and fractured. An empty message to empty people. Conclusion. As we've seen, Mariah Carey and Madonna are profoundly different people and have very distinct worldviews. Any similarities are merely superficial. The mutual criticisms they made in the press are not just an ego dispute. Mariah Carey and Madonna have deeper motivations for avoiding and opposing each other.